Okay, our dough is ready to shape. So what I've done is dump it out onto a floured work surface. Also for this, you're going to need your bench scraper. Okay, I will do a little bit of flour on top of the loaf to make it workable. And then I'm going to cut this into portions, probably 3 of them. Okay. I always use the scraper as an extension of my hand. Now, when you're going to be pre-shaping, what you're going to be doing is evening out the cell structure and giving yourself an even piece of bread to start shaping from. Now, what your motion is going to be is I'm going to round these, and the way that I do that is I go with the scraper flat against the table, I go forward, I then turn the scraper 90 degrees, and I come back down at me. Okay, so I go up, I've usually got my left hand here to help support and then take the loaf off. Now, what's gonna happen when I put bread in front of it, I never want to shape on top of flour because that's going to just make the bread move around and not actually tighten. When I put bread in front of this, you see I go up and it's sticking to the table. I turn my scraper 90 degrees and I pull back down and it's tightening, okay? Up, the bread rotates, back down, up, and then when I use my left hand to help, this is all I want, okay? It should be smooth, it should be rounded, it should be sitting up on itself. When I press on it, it should be very, very taut, okay? Now, the other part, or the other reason that you pre-shape is to tighten the bread a little bit. And by creating a tight loaf of bread, you're gonna trap more gas, okay? So I tighten it and I make it even, okay? Then we're going to let it rest and final shape it, okay? So again, my motion up and back down, using my left hand to release it from the scraper nicely. Now, I'm gonna do this one too far, okay? This one, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm going to keep tightening it. So this is where I should stop. It's smooth, it's round, it's tight, it's shiny, it's good. Now I'm going to take it too far, and you know it's too far because when you're mixing bread and when you're working gluten, what happens is that it gets too tight, okay? And you can kind of think of it like rubber bands, the gluten structure, okay? And if you keep pulling at the rubber band, what happens is that you can see it starts to tear like this, okay? So that outer layer of gluten is destroyed, okay? So if you do this, you've gone too far. What you have to do is let it rest and then start again. Versus these over here that I did nicely, you stop when it's smooth and taut and before you start tearing, okay? So this one we would need to let rest. These ones are good. We're gonna let them rest for about 15-20 minutes, and then we will final shape them into our desired shapes.